Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Bonding with Mark and Andy. This is Andy Parker coming to you. Andrew Parker, coming to you live from the bunker in Nashville. Say hello to my friend Mark, coming to you live from
Hungerford, England. No, it does never.
is,
I wish you wouldn't introduce me like this because it never sounds as good as live from Nashville, Tennessee. It just doesn't.
Mark's in the haunted chapel there in Hungerford. So if you see something going bump in the night,
don't say Mark, that. Don't, because it will happen, and then I'll be.
Don't alert him. He will be wide awake and scary all night.
This sort of thing does occur in here. Don't say it.
So as usual, so those that are new to this and those that are not new to this, as everybody knows, the idea of this show is I've never seen the Bond films, although now I can say I have seen 2 Bond films. The first one was Dr. No. We're going in order. Since seeing Dr. No, have listened to the audiobook, read the book of From Russia with Love, which is the latest movie I just watched and what we're going to discuss. I'll give you a quick synopsis of it, then we're going to jump right into breaking down the film, the good, the bad, and the Bond. So this is From Russia with Love. It was published in 1957. It is the 5th James Bond novel in the series. From Russia with Love is frequently considered the best James Bond novel by many fans and critics, although even critical opinions vary greatly. The novel is credited with launching the James Bond craze and leading to the official Eon Productions film series. Its biggest boost came 4 years after it was published when an article in Life magazine on 17 March 1961 featured U.S. President John F. Kennedy included it on a list of his top 10 favorite books. The book was the only work of fiction on Kennedy's list of favorite books. And real quick, the budget for this film was $2 million, and currently the box office sits at $79 million for From Russia with Love. Mark,
not a bad return on your investment.
That is not bad at all. So, yeah, I just finished watching this movie just the other day. I took 2 pages of notes. We're going to try something new here in our episodes. We're going to try to do some screen sharing so we can talk about scenes as we go. So
it is considered one of the best, if not the best, Bond movie. I know Sean Connery says it's his favorite Bond film.
Yes.
Lots of people cite From Russia. So what did you think? Did you rate it? You liked
it? So out of the 2 I've seen, this is my favorite.
This is where it starts to become the Bond we all know and love with all the
But I've been talking to people, people from the Facebook group, and friends of mine have messaged me privately, and a lot of them have said, "Wait till you get into the later Bond, like the latest ones, like the Daniel Craig's," because I'm sure at some point it turns a little from the campy Bond into the serious.
From Russia with Love is the after From Russia. When you get to Goldfinger, it all goes bananas, and the plot starts to get a bit outlandish. But with Dr. No, and especially From Russia with Love, it's a straightforward sort of spy espionage type plot, and it's a proper sort of spy thriller. It's quite grounded.
So let's jump into this. Let's try. The first thing I noticed right here, this is the first scene I'm going to show you, Mark.
There we go.
I just want to show part of this. Let me turn this music down a little bit here. This scene to me was very interesting because
it's the opening scene, isn't it?
It's the opening scene, and I'm watching this, and of course you probably know it's going to happen. And those of you that have seen the movie, you know what's about to happen, but I did not. So I'm like, oh my God, Bond gets killed in the opening scene. I'm like, holy crap.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. And then
but what's all this? What's going on? What's happening here? Training school for assassins. Oh, look out. It's Spectre.
Yes.
And so look at him. Look at Robert Shaw as the villain, Red Grant, with the blonde, the bleached blonde crew.
And then this right here.
Oh, this reveal. Very Mission Impossible.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. There's the reveal.
So let me pause that. That caught me off guard.
As it's supposed to.
It did. It did very well. And again, this part is not in the book that I recall. So I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So that was an interesting scene, and I thought
But
that was
this is a
so cool.
straight, if you think about it, it's a straight follow on from Doctor No. The whole point of From Russia with Love is Spectre furious that James Bond has killed Doctor No in the previous film. So the next one, From Russia, starts with Spectre training a load of assassins to get James Bond. That's how it begins.
Yeah.
That's the crux of it.
So that's that, and look at this opening sequence here.
And then we're into a fantastic song. I mean, Matt Monro, From Russia with Love. It's a great song. As soon as you hear it, you know exactly what it is.
Get a little bit of that playing behind us.
Yeah.
Very cool though. Very cool. I love that, and I just thought that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
And then you go on from there. Let me close that out, and let's see where I'm at here. So we're back to you and me talking. So I thought that was cool, and then we go to what I believe our next scene in the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this scene here, Mark?
And don't forget, it's the first time with a Bond movie. There's generally always a pre-title sequence, so something happens before the credits. And with From Russia with Love, what you've seen there with oh, it's James Bond getting killed and da da da, and then the music starts. That's the first time they do it.
So then we get this scene. Am I correct? Is this the next big scene in the movie?
Yeah, this is Kronstein, the Spectre agent, who's a master chess player but secretly works for Spectre.
Right. So my recollection of the book is it starts with this scene, the chess playing scene, and for those of you that aren't watching this on YouTube, you're just listening, you're missing out on playing a scene from the movie. This massive set of this chessboard, and there's bigger than life-size chessboard up here. This is so cool.
It's an insanely good set. Yeah, they're playing chess. It's a big exhibition match, and then look, the camera pulls back and you see that view.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
And this was a cool scene, of course. And this is the scene where in the book, and even in the movie, they pass a note to the Russian.
Look at his face. Look at this guy's face. He's a Polish actor called Wladek Szabal, and his face and his voice. He's the quintessential Bond villain. Look at him. He's a very striking looking actor.
And he just, notice how he grabs the piece of paper and he drinks.
And there's a message from Spectre.
And you see the Spectre logo, which is so cool.
Yeah. So he's got to deal with this guy quickly and be on his way.
Yeah, because he's posing as a chess master. Am I right?
Chess grandmaster, yeah. But he's secretly Spectre's head of planning, I think, or head of operations or something like that.
He's like the COO or something of Spectre.
Exactly.
So this is such a cool scene. We'll let that play for a second. So that was
it's his face, his eyes, the way he looks, the contempt in his eyes for his he's a great villain, this guy.
Yeah. And it was so cool. And it's just a great opening to this movie because it's so broad. And then of course, checkmate. He tips over the king. He accepts defeat. And our guy now is in a hurry because he has to go. He's been summoned. He's like, I got to get the heck out of here, buddy.
Blofeld. You don't want to keep Blofeld.
And look, the one guy reaches to shake his hand, and I don't think so.
No, he's just struts past him. He's on his way.
So that guy blows him off on the shaking the hands. So then, as we're just going to kind of move through the movie a little bit, I got a lot of clips and we'll try to play. This scene coming up here next, Mark. Now this, and you could talk about this a little, because you gave me a little bit of info about the lady in this scene. Let me get this started up here for you.
Oh, Lottie Lenya, Rosa Clare.
And I have to say, let me pause this. So look at her.
So give it some context. So this is the training camp for these Spectre assassins, and she's come in looking for a guy to take on James Bond. So this is.
And look at this. So.
Look at his physique for a start. Robert Shaw.
For starters, a couple things I want to note here. First of all, I want to go to Spectre Island because this looks like a badass place to go to. Not to train as an assassin because that's not who I am. I'm a lover, not a fighter, Mark.
Yes. But you need to look like Robert Shaw to get in. They've never let you in, Andy.
Well, so let me stop for a minute on that, and let me move this a little further along here.
So this is Donald Grant, Red Grant, they call him in the movie, and he's a British. Well, he's Irish in the book. He's an Irish psychopath who's got out of Dartmoor prison.
Now I have to say, Mark, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is again just me being stupid. ignorant to the what's going on here. It wasn't until 3/4 of the movie that I put it together that that's Robert Shaw, the same guy who plays Quint in Jaws.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't put that together at all because that's not how I know Robert Shaw.
Did you know? All right, okay.
And I'm looking at this. I'm like, God, look at this guy. Like, he's a rugged, I know him as this grumpy old, you got to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
That's the guy I knew. I didn't know this guy. Now, this is a smooth move here.
And she's got the knuckle duster in her hand. She wants to see how tough he is.
What is she going to do to this guy?
Yeah.
And look at this.
She's wicked. She's absolutely wicked.
So she belts him in the gut, and Shaw stands there and takes it.
He doesn't even flinch. He's that tough.
Doesn't flinch.
So that's Rosa Klebb, Lottie Lenya. That's Robert Shaw, and he's playing Red Grant, this Irish psychopath that Spectre have recruited to become an assassin, to take Bond out.
Yes.
But
now, do you want to talk about Rosa Klebb for a minute? The note you sent me about
Rosa Klebb, Lottie Lenya. She's just such an iconic Bond villain. She's a small. I always think she's a bit like a sparrow. She's a very sort of bird-like small woman, but she's just super evil. She's super deadly, Rosa Klebb. You can't underestimate her. She's one of the great Bond villains, I think.
Yes, and her as a real person. You mentioned she was she was name dropped.
She's her real name. The actress who played it is a woman called Lottie Lenya, and I didn't know. I mean, it's years later I found out she was an Austrian singer, very well regarded. I think she won a Tony Award. I think she was nominated for an Oscar. She was very big in her field, and she's name checked in Mac the Knife, Louis Armstrong. I think Bobby Darin had a big hit with it, but Louis Armstrong brought it out in 1956. And if you listen to it in the verses of Mac the Knife, he name checks Lottie Lenya.
Yeah,
she's quite a big singer. And then she gets cast as Rosa Klebb, and she's just perfect in it. She's just super, super evil.
You sent me that clip, and I was like, wait a minute, what? A Bond villain is checked name check, but very cool, very cool. Fun little tidbits here and there. So we go through the movie, and interesting. Also, sticking with Rosa Klebb for just a minute is in the book, because it's in the movie too, but there is some quasi flirtation going on.
Well, she's a lesbian in the Tatiana. Let's not beat about the bush. And in the book and the movie, she is implied to be an outrageous predatory lesbian, and she flirts with Daniela. Tatiana.
Yeah, in the book, it's way more than what it was in the movie. The movie, they brush it very, very gently.
She just touches her leg in the book, but in the film. But in the book, doesn't she come out all dressed in lingerie or something?
Oh yeah, she actually comes on to her pretty aggressively. Like, she'd be definitely Me Too'd.
So Colonel Rosa Klebb used to work for the Russian Secret Service for SMERSH. She's now secretly defected, and she's joined Spectre.
Right.
And it gets a bit more complicated from there. But Rosa Klebb is ex-Russian Secret Service. Now she's working for Spectre. That's where she comes in.
So I wanted to jump on that. Mention that for a minute. There's a scene that it comes after this. I couldn't pull the scene to show you, but I was just interested because this movie came out. What did I say? When did the movie come out?
1963.
63, and in this movie, Bond has basically a beeper and a car phone.
Oh yeah, pager, yeah.
Because he's laying.
Well, the first time you see Bond, he's in a little boat on the Thames with his
Sylvia Trench.
His Sylvia Trench, his girlfriend from Doctor No, and she was supposed to be his on-off girlfriend. So at the beginning of every movie, where's 007? Oh, he's out somewhere with his Sylvia Trench. But they abandoned it. It's the last time you see her in From Russia with Love. But she was supposed to be a sort of a recurring character. She'd always be slightly frustrated that Bond would have to leave her and go off and do his mission.
I read that said that it was the original idea was to have her in all the episodes, every movie.
That's right, yeah.
And then the disappointment of him always having to leave her.
Exactly.
They did say this is the last time. But the funny thing is again, this is 1963, 64, and he has a pager.
That was quite a novel thing. Yeah.
And I was like, did they have? And I'll probably look it up and maybe put it down at the bottom of the screen here. Did they have that technology back then? Or
Oh yeah, I
just
think it was.
Bond
But
have that technology back
it
then?
was extremely new, and something like that was quite radical to have a beeper and be able to.
Yeah.
And don't forget, he gets up, walks to his Bentley, and he's got a phone in his Bentley. That was unheard of in that day and age. To have a phone in the car.
Yeah. You and I are both old enough to know when cell phones and cars became.
Oh yeah, I remember them sort of turning up, and they were as huge as bricks with great big aerials. But yeah,
I had one.
He just struts. He gets the message. He leaves her in the boat, struts to his Bentley, and gets a telephone out of it.
And she's
insane.
very what's the word I'm looking for? Boisterous about him taking the phone call. Like he's on the phone with the headquarters.
Oh yeah, no, she's
M,
all
and
over him. Yeah,
she's mouthy.
It's Sean Connery, stripped to just his shorts. Of course, everyone's going to go crazy for him.
I'm on the phone.
And that is another little, bit of useless information. In the books, his Bentley, he's always driving a Bentley, and he uses it quite a lot. That's the only time in a Bond movie you'll see him with a Bentley.
Really?
That section, yeah. You'll have to look it up. I think they were Bentley Continentals, old school Bentley racing cars he used to drive.
Yeah.
And that's the only time you see it in a Bond movie, when he walks up to a Bentley Continental Mark II.
It was very cool. So let me get to this next scene, Mark, and we'll might be the last scene for this episode before we move on to next episode. But let me get this up for you. This is, where is it at? Let me get this going here.
The briefing with
Jim Brown just put.
Look how cool he looks, even from the back, with his short back and sides and his tailored suit. He looks amazing.
So right here,
yeah.
There's a reason I brought this in. Let me get this.
First appearance of Q. Yeah.
An ordinary black leather case with 20 rounds of ammunition.
20 rounds of ammunition here and here.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Now, if you take the top off, you'll find the ammunition inside.
If you take the top off?
Yeah, just pour them out.
Here, flat throwing knife.
For his AR-7 sniper.
Look at this.
Inside the case, you'll find an AR-7 folding sniper's rifle.
Just sitting there.
Caliber.
Which is a real gun. It does exist. They do exist, AR-7s.
Does it exist like that?
Yeah, it's a proper gun, yeah.
Pull out these straps.
Look at this here.
Inside of 50 gold sovereigns.
50 gold sovereigns.
In either side. Now,
we have to figure out how much that was worth. 50 gold sovereigns, I think, was about £300.
Inside, a tear gas cartridge. That goes in the case against the side here like that. It's magnetized, so it won't fall.
So he's got the tear gas.
Shut the case.
And this is the tricky part.
Normally, to open a case like that, you move the catches to the side. If you do, the cartridge will explode in your face.
In your face.
Now, to stop the cartridge exploding, turn the catches horizontally.
Horizontally.
Like that. Then open normally.
I mean, could you imagine?
Now you try it.
If you do it wrong.
Well, exactly.
Catches like that. That's right. And open ordinarily.
Ordinarily. I love the way he says ordinarily.
Got it?
Yes, I think so.
Is that all, sir?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah,
I mean, so think about it.
Desmond Llewellyn.
Think about it, Mark. On top of all the stuff Bond has to do, he has to remember to make sure you turn the knobs correctly, or you will blow the thing up in your face.
Turn them ordinarily, and they won't blow up in your face. But yeah, first James Bond gadget, beautiful briefcase, folding sniper's rifle inside, 20 rounds of ammunition, explodes in your face if you don't operate it the right way, and spits out a little dagger if you need it. I mean, it's perfect.
All of that, you got to make love to beautiful women and save the world.
Shame. What a shame.
Mark, you and I missed our calling, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think I like all the attempts of my life that go on. That that get you down after a while, I think.
I totally agree. Well, Mark, I tell you what, with that scene there, let's call this episode an end for now, and we'll come back and do it on the next episode. We'll pick up where we left off. So let's say goodbye for now. Bond on, everybody.
Good night.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.